Okay, so the last word that we ended with was der Freund. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
What's it mean?
Friend.
Friend. Okay, so what does die Freundin mean?
Friend.
Female friend. Okay, everybody try that. Die Freundin. All right. Okay. And what does that dash N-E-N mean? Plural. Good. So that's how you make a plural. And when you are making something plural, what does that der, die, or das word change to? Die. Die. So not die. Looks like die, but it's pronounced die. Okay? Okay, so the plural, everybody try. Die Freundinnen. Okay. All right. Try the next one. Die Schulsache. Okay. What do you think Schule is short for? School. Good. And Sache is the word for thing. School thing. So what would we say? School supplies. You got it. Okay. So Schulsache would be singular. So school supply. And how do you say the plural? Everybody. Schul. Sachen. Yeah, it's good and flummy in the middle. Try it together. Schulsachen. There you go.
Is that the guy friend?
Yeah, this is the guy friend that you already had in your notes last time.
Yeah, I've seen my guy friend.
Yeah, so it's a male friend. Now remember, it can be a boyfriend, or it can just be a friend who is a male. Same thing with Freundin. It could be a girlfriend, or it could be just a friend who's a girl. Okay, so you can tell based on context. I'd say 90% of the time. Okay. Okay, are we good on this one? Can we move on? Yep. All right, next one. Try it. Die Klasse. What do you think that means? Class. It has more than one meaning. Okay? So Klasse does mean class. You can also use it as an exclamation for something that's awesome. Okay, so it can also mean like that it's great or awesome. You wouldn't say the D part if you're saying that it's great or awesome. You just say, Klasse. Okay? Okay? Die Klasse ist klasse. Okay? It can also mean grade level. Okay? So, it can also be the grade, like grade level, 9th grade or whatever. Okay? We're going to talk more about grades in a second, grade levels. As far as the other kind of grades, you don't need to know it for this chapter, but it's called a Note. Looks like note. Okay? And their grading system is slightly different than ours. Okay? They use numbers instead of letters. And they use, and I'll just write, you don't need to write this down if you don't want to. So their grades are 1 through 6. A 1 is the best. So it's like an A. And A's are actually very hard to get over there. Okay, over here there's that whole grade inflation thing and blah, 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 where C is supposed to be average, but in most cases they're inflated to the point where it's not. Okay, over there, an A is very, very, very difficult. Okay.
So someone to get straight A's,
That would be amazing. Yeah, over here, you know, where we have, I don't know how many there are. I think in like the 9th grade class, there's some, you know, like at the end of the year, there's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20 people who still have 4.0s. That would never happen over there. You know, it's very difficult. Okay? I mean, it's awesome here, but you know what I mean? It's, the odds of it are very, very slim over there. Now, the other thing to note is that their 6 is a fail, but so is their 5. So they have 2 levels of failing. I like to call it regular failing and epic failing. Okay? Because if you think about it, what is so to pass a class here, you have to have a 60% or higher. Okay? So 59 is an F, and so is a 1. That's a pretty big range. So it makes a lot of sense so that you can differentiate between how close you were to actually passing. You know what I mean? You have more opportunity percentage-wise to fail than you do to actually pass a class in America. You know what I mean? Okay? So anyway, we'll move on from there. Try the next one. Fun. Try it again. Fun. Fun. Okay. Fun means from or of. Okay. Do you remember what das Handy means? Cell phone. Good. So das Handy is von Paul. What does that mean? Yeah. So it could be construed two different ways. The cell phone is from Paul, like it's been gifted to you from Paul or whatever, or it is Paul's cell phone. Right, Eric? Okay. Okay. All right. Next one. I have no idea why this is in this chapter, but it is. Try that one. Die Katze. Anybody know that one? Cat. Mm-hmm. Was that a total guess?
Yeah.
Good. Yep. So this book is set up just to kind of introduce you to random bits of vocabulary as we go. Okay, so in later chapters you'll get more school supplies, stuff like that, that'll pop up. Okay. So how do you say the plural? Die Katzen. Mm-hmm. Die Katzen. Okay. So try that one. The next one. Sind das deine Katzen? What do you think that means? Close. What is this?
What's your cat's name?
Plural. Cat.
It's plural.
How many cats?
So how many cats do you
You guys are making up things.
Oh.
Okay, so you can figure out sind later, but das deine Katzen. You guys were closer before.
What's the number of cats?
Are those your cats? Sehr schön. Yeah, because it's not is that your cat, because it's plural. So are those your cats? Next word is a great word to learn. Okay, everybody try this one. Quatsch. 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 Quatsch means nonsense. These are random vocabulary words, just kind of pop in. Okay? So you could actually respond to, sind das deine Katzen? Quatsch. Yeah? You could answer the question that way. Are those your cats? Nonsense. Okay? Try the next one. Na klar. Klar means clear. So it's kind of like saying, yes, clearly, but we would say, of course. So, sind das deine Katzen? Na klar. Or Quatsch. Or Quatsch, na klar. All right, now, here's how this stuff works. The dine and mine words. Okay, the dine and mine words. Okay, so dine means what? Your. Okay, so dine means your. What does mine mean?
Mine.
My. Okay. Now, you've seen this a couple times now, but they've had different endings on them. Okay? So, if the word that comes after it is a das or a der word, you're just going to use dine. So there's no ending after it. If the word that came after it was a D word, feminine or plural, doesn't matter, then you're going to use dina. So the way to think about this one is, if that word ends in an E, it's a really unfortunate color for that. I'll fix that. If that word ends in an E, so does this one. So if it's a D word, it ends in an E, yeah? Then you add the E to the other one. Okay? Same thing works down here. Gesundheit. Now the biggest tripping point for people when they're doing this is they're trying to figure out the person that you're talking about. So if I'm saying to Ian, for example, if I'm talking to Ian, I'm saying that is your dog. It's all based on the word dog. It has nothing to do with the gender of the person to whom I'm speaking. Okay? So if I'm saying, is that your dog, it would be the same ending whether I'm talking to Val or I'm talking to Ian. Does that make sense? Okay, couple phrases here. Was ist das? What does that mean? What is that? Good. Try the next one. Das ist mein Hund.
That is my dog.
That is my dog, yeah. Do you know if Hund is a der, die, or das word?
Der.
It is a der word. Good. You could narrow it down to 2 just by looking at that sentence, right? So you could get rid of the D word as an option because it doesn't have the E at the end of it. Okay, so this was a der word, so that's why. Okay. What about das sind meine Hunde?
Are those your dogs?
Don't make it a question, but those are my dogs. Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. So since this one was plural, you add that E. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I think that is the end of your, well, that is the end of your notes for today. Okay. Tomorrow we will probably finish up the chapter notes, actually.